Good afternoon, everyone. Punieng Daiga, Gaimat Leilaung Liga Utong. Welcome to the Master Module of Free Electrons 2025 and Hong Kong Innovation Immersion session. Welcome to everyone that is present here in this room, as well as everyone that is watching us online. It's a great honor to be your host for today. My name is Martina.
And my name is Joyce from CLP. Welcome everyone again. To kick things off for today, please join us in welcoming Mr. TK Cheung, the Chief Executive Officer of CLP Holdings, to come on the stage for the opening remarks. Mr. TK, please. Yeah.
Lillian, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A big warm welcome again to all of you here in the afternoon next to our CLP headquarters. So I'm sure you have been very busy over the past few days, but I would really want to express my warmest welcome to all you for the Hong Kong Innovation Immersion session. Now, this year actually marks the 9th edition of Free Electron. And Free Electron is an annual innovation program designed to identify, co-develop, and scale breakthrough solutions that accelerate the energy transition. Now, this Master Module week, I would say the whole week, has been a remarkable journey, bringing together 7 global utilities and the top 15 energy startups, which were selected from over 800 applications for focused collaboration discussions. So now we are here to open up the conversation and connect these global innovators with Hong Kong's broader ecosystems of innovators, accelerators, academia, and also governments. Now, at CLP, we firmly believe that innovation is essential in helping us to adapt, compete, and thrive in a rapidly evolving energy landscape. And it also allows us to rethink how we generate, distribute, and consume energy, empowering us to build a cleaner, smarter, and more resilient energy future. So I'm very proud to say that CLP has been an active participant in Free Electrons since 2018. Now, over this period, we have accessed over 4,000 startups and launched dozens of pilots that have enhanced our operations, improved our customer outcomes, and also accelerated our decarbonization goals. We are very proud also to host this module here in Hong Kong. And actually, this is, I think, the second time since 2019. 2019 is the first time we host this event in Hong Kong, and then second time actually is in 2023 in India, but then this is the second time in Hong Kong. And I'm sure this city has long served as a bridge between the East and West, and is now showcasing itself as a hub for energy innovation. Now, without robust support from our local ecosystem partners, with robust support from the local ecosystem partners, we are witnessing an increase in startups landing, growing, and also scaling in this region. And our CLP innovation team has also working very hard to engage with and activate the local startup and academic ecosystem. And we are very pleased to see that we have been able to help elevate the representation of Hong Kong and China startups applying to the Free Electron program. Now, today's session will begin with a presentation from COHK Innovation. I look forward to hearing from PIX4's Free Electrons alumnus in a panel discussion about their journey from a pilot with CLP to market expansions in Hong Kong. So the panel will also include representatives from the Science Park and also Invest Hong Kong. I'm also very excited to see the top 15 startups taking the stage to pitch their innovative solutions. Each will offer a unique perspective on tackling the challenges of the energy transition. In particular, I also want to extend special thanks and also welcome to Lilian Zhang, the Undersecretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry Bureau of the Hong Kong SAR government. Now, her presence really underscores the government's commitment to supporting energy innovation and the startup growth in Hong Kong. And also Lillian herself actually plays a very key role in promoting technology adoption and fostering collaboration between the public and private sector. Her efforts focus on creating an environment that supports research, development, and the growth of startups. So we are very honored to welcome Lillian Zhang to the stage, where she will then share her insights on the government's vision for innovation and technology in Hong Kong. So maybe I just, on behalf of the MCs, welcome Lillian. So please join me in giving her a very warm welcome.
TK, Queens, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's really my great pleasure to join you all today at this CLP Free Electrons 2025. So first and foremost, may I express my sincere gratitude to the co-host, CLP, and also 6 other leading global utilities for organizing these very meaningful and also remarkable event, Free Electrons, which has actually emerged as a global powerhouse in the energy sector's open innovation landscape. And also a very warm welcome to our many guests from all around the world to come to Hong Kong. Hopefully that you will have a very good stay here in Hong Kong. Just as what mentioned by TK, by attracting over 800 global startup applications this year, Free Electrons vividly demonstrates your, and also our organizers as well, vividly demonstrates your unwavering commitment to driving innovation, fostering collaboration, and exploring new frontiers in the energy domain. Your efforts have not only created a platform for startups to showcase their potential, but also, very importantly, is to provide an opportunity for different sectors, in particular our utilities, to tackle operational challenges and uncover new growth avenues. And today, with many of our guests from all over the world coming to Hong Kong, and also many of our local startups here, together with many of our professional business experts here. So if you don't mind, I would like to take a few minutes to introduce to you about Hong Kong's INT ecosystem. And hopefully that you will find that Hong Kong is really full of opportunities here. And we are also a platform for fostering international cooperation and collaboration. Hong Kong, when we talk about Hong Kong, many people would think about finance, right? International Financial Center, finance, real estate, servicing, trading, logistics, management. But then maybe very few people would think about technology. So, what if I tell you that now our key mission is to develop Hong Kong as an international innovation and technology center? Yeah, so maybe some people would question, really, can Hong Kong be international INT hub? But I'm really confident to share with you that I do believe that in the upcoming times in the future, that Hong Kong, there will be dual growth engine for Hong Kong. One definitely would be on our financial strength, being as an international financial center. Yet, what really drives Hong Kong to the next stage growth that really can build a sustainable economic breakthroughs would definitely be hinged on technology innovation. And so how special about Hong Kong? Indeed, Hong Kong is having a strong R&D capability. As you can see that our city is the only one in Asia and actually is also the only one in the world with 5 of the world's top 100 universities clustering here in such a small, tiny place. In addition, among which 4 of these universities actually ranked among the world's top 10 most international universities. And coupled with our robust IP protection regime, that it could help pull global innovation resources to Hong Kong. And for example, the express railway that really nowadays many of us when we think about express railway, then the very key technology tracking whether there would be any cracks, and for the alert system that for advanced repairing. Actually, the very core technology that actually come from Hong Kong. And actually, when we now talk about AI, facial recognition, the world's first technology that really surpassed human's eye, achieving 99.62% accuracy. Actually, that technology also comes from Hong Kong, from our local university. And now when we talk about our nation's lunar mission, that with a mission that being able to dug the moon Earth, and the very critical part, the engineering part, and also the technology enable the equipment to dug the soil. Also, the technology comes from Hong Kong's local university, and also many other examples. And so that's why I just shared with you that we have a strong R&D capability. But then just having all this is never enough. And so more important is how we are going forward to put forth for further strengthening our R&D strength. And so in this regard, the government has been implementing different initiatives. For example, we'll very soon roll out a 3 billion Frontier Technology Research Support Scheme to help our universities to further attract more world-class international top-notch talents in frontier technology areas such as AI, energy, materials, or quantum computing, etc., to come to Hong Kong to conduct their frontier research here in Hong Kong, and thereby further expanding Hong Kong's research capability. And meanwhile, we are also taking forward the establishment of the third Inno-Hong Kong research cluster, which I believe that this cluster will be very much interesting to you, because this cluster will focus on global R&D collaboration on materials, energy, and sustainable development. So you will find all our world-leading universities, R&D institutes, and all our world-class top-tier talents, together with also the top-notch tech companies, to come together and having their R&D collaboration here in Hong Kong, focusing on the sectors that I just introduced to you. And in addition, we also have different kinds of I&T fundings focusing on a few key technology sectors, including our green technology. For example, one of our R&D centers developed a new generation of materials incorporating plant stems into biodegradable plastics, which could aid the production of eco-friendly products at a competitive cost. And what's more, definitely just having the upstream R&D capability that would not be enough. So very importantly is also we have to get a breakthrough from the past, is that to support the transformation and realization of our R&D outcomes in the midstream. So I think one thing that why not many people, when we talk about innovation technology, why would people not think about Hong Kong? Because even though we have, seems like we have a very good R&D capability, but it doesn't seem that Hong Kong is like having a very robust R&D ecosystem. We don't have the technology cluster here. We don't have the industry here. But then I'm going to tell you that we are moving through themes to changing, to really having a drastic change in this paradigm. So what we are now doing is to promote an interactive development between an upstream, midstream, and downstream industry sectors. So that very important is also to foster midstream technology transfer and also promote for downstream industry development and also commercialization. And so in the midstream sector, actually we launched a 10 billion research, academic, and industry sector 1+ scheme last year, and which this scheme is to fund on a matching basis our research teams from universities with good potential to become successful startups, and that the government for company or for our VCPE funds or for our utility companies here, that normally, apart from you having internal R&D teams, very likely for some other researchers that it's very natural for you to cooperate with our universities, right? So, but then very normally is that either you form a JV with them, or you help commercialize their project by licensing their patents, etc. And then you will take the shares, right? You take the shares and you treat it as an investment. But like, for example, for 100 million, you invest in that project. In this scheme, the government will directly give you another 100 million. For 10 million you invest there, the government will also match you another 10 million. But then your investment is an investment. You take the equity, you have the investment there. And the government, what we give you is the direct grant, it's a subsidy. So you can understand the merit of this program. And we welcome our investors and also our professionals here from all around the world to explore collaboration opportunities with our universities here. And hopefully that you can also join hands and to invest in these Race Plus projects. And as for the promotion of downstream development, we have also launched a 10 billion new industrialization acceleration scheme to provide funding support for enterprises in industries of strategic importance to set up new smart production facilities here in Hong Kong. Such industries include life and health technology, along with AI and data science, advanced manufacturing, and new energy technology industries, etc. And apart from all these, to further support our tech enterprises, we have also introduced enhancement measures to different schemes to encourage local manufacturers to switch to smart manufacturing, and hopefully through which the upgrading that they can also adopt more green technology. And what's more, another very important thing, apart from promoting the interactive development between the upstream, midstream, and downstream sector, also very important is to really incentivize our private market, the market capital, to join hands with the government to invest in the local I&T ecosystems. So to invest in our startups here, to invest, to work together with CLP, with our other organizers, that to hopefully build a robust I&T ecosystem. So in these regards, the government has introduced a 10 billion I&T industry-oriented fund, which will be set up to form a fund of funds to channel more market capital to invest in specific emerging and future industries of strategic importance, including green technology here. So the scheme will be rolled out very soon. So maybe next year when you come to Hong Kong, you'll also find many global VCPE funds, etc., coming to Hong Kong, and then looking for good opportunities to invest here and looking for good companies to invest as well. And many other schemes. So because of the timing issue, I can just elaborate you one by one. But then hopefully that just within the very brief introduction to you just now, that you will find really there are enormous opportunities here. And with all these policy supports, and also thanks to the concerted efforts of all of you here, Hong Kong's progress in building as an international I&T center has been acknowledged, with Hong Kong now being ranked in WIPO's Global Innovation Index as third globally and first in Asia in the global emerging startup ecosystem. So we are world's third global emerging startup ecosystem. And we also ranked second worldwide in the technology factor and seventh overall in the World Digital Competitiveness Ranking published by the IMD. And through the establishment of a good ecosystem of I&T, we aim to drive sustainable economic growth, create high-quality job opportunities, enhance the quality of life of our citizens, and address the evolving needs of Hong Kong, our country, and more importantly, the global community. So may I invite all of you, our utility professionals, our startups, and our representatives from the vibrant innovation ecosystem here to continue to work together leveraging our collective strengths to create smarter, better, and greener technologies for Hong Kong and all the markets where you work in. Together, we can transform our ambitions into reality. And so let us foster a culture of collaboration where ideas flow freely and innovation thrives. I'm excited to see how the outcomes of the projects from this year's edition of Free Electrons program will go on to shape the future of our energy landscape. So thank you once again, and thank you very much for CLP and also the other co-organizers for hosting this very important event, and for all the participants here for your unwavering commitment to innovation. So please let us together build a brighter, more sustainable future for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lillian. Please remain on stage. We will be taking a quick photo session. Yep. For the first photo, I would like to invite the following distinguished guests to join Lillian on stage. TK Zhang, Chief Executive Officer of the CLP Holdings. Andy Wong, Head of Innovation and Technology of Invest Hong Kong. Renato Gomez, Founder and President of Pixforce. Howard Lee, Associate Director of Green Tech at Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks. Joyce Ng, Chief Executive Officer of CUHK Innovation. And Brandon Zhou, Head of Research and Ecosystems of CLP Holdings. Thank you. Please also remain on stage for the second photo. In the following, may I ask the following CLP senior leadership to join? Ringo Ng, Managing Director of CLPE. Andre Bromberg, Chief Digital Officer. Lena Low, Senior Director of Customer Success and Experience. Quinn Xiong, Chief Corporate Development Officer. Eric Chen, Senior Director of Power Systems. Alan Ng, Senior Director of Planning and Development. Thank you for joining the group photo. Please be seated. As we continue with the program, we'll hear from Joyce Ng, Chief Executive Officer of CUHK Innovation, who will share insights on CUHK Innovation journey. Joyce, please.
So good afternoon, Under Secretary, TK, Brendan, partners of Free Electrons, and distinguished guests. It's a great honor to be here at Free Electrons Hong Kong Innovation Immersion Day today. Just now, we actually heard from Lillian about the roadmap, innovation roadmap of Hong Kong. So let me focus more on the earlier stage as a representative of the university. So we are actually a startup ourselves. So we are established in 2023 September, being a wholly owned subsidiary of CUHK, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. So maybe to start, let me give you a brief introduction of the Chinese University of Hong Kong. It was founded in 1963 with a mission to combine tradition with modernity and bridge China and the West. Today, we are honored to be ranked number 6 in Asia and 32 globally by QS, as well as number 1 in Hong Kong by US News and Report. We host 6 innovation centers and 5 state laboratories, spanning healthcare, biotech, AI, robotics, and biotechnology, translating research into real-world applications that support national development. And as mentioned, we're actually a wholly owned subsidiary of CHK with an independent board and also external investment committee backed by institutional investors. We provide early stage funding to promising CHK startups and act as a bridge between academia and industry. Internally, we work with our knowledge transfer office, our Center for Entrepreneurship, as well as different departments and faculties. Externally, we connect startups with commercial partners to bring their innovations to market. We reckon that our checkbook is not big enough, so we actually partner up with external investors. So today we have 21 investors as our MOU co-investment partner, including VCs, PEs, family officers, and industry experts. So we work with them to invest in our community of startups together. And on top of providing funding, we actually support startup through investor mentorship, legal consultation, coaching, and business plan consultation. We also connect them to global platforms like Alibaba Jumpstarter, EQT, AWS, Hong Kong Science Park, and Cyberport as well. And most importantly, we are actually a key supporter of the Raise Plus investment fund matching scheme that Lillian mentioned earlier. We not just provide funding, but again, also industry support. To date, we are proud to share that CHK has the most number of awarded projects among all universities in Hong Kong. And let me draw attention to 6 of our selected CHK startups that align with free electrons fee. First, Lucas Energy under our Department of Mechanical and Automation Engineering. Co-founded by Professor Louis Jun and Simon Wang, Lucas Energy develops silver-based flow batteries that are ultra-safe, low-cost, eco-friendly, durable, and also scalable. Their first demonstration project was actually launched last year in Shenzhen at an EV charging station, and with mass production targeting 2027. The CEO, Simon, is actually here with us today, so feel free to bombard him with any questions you have later on. And then next, Lassens, also under the same department, co-founded by Professor Renwei and Xu Ke. Lassens specializes in ultra-sensitive gas sensing by detecting laser intensity variations caused by absorption. They developed China's first WMO standard instruments. They already launched a smart factory in Shenzhen, and their analyzers have been deployed in Wuhan and Zhejiang for agricultural and industrial uses. Next, Pine River under our Department of Chemistry. Co-founded by Professor Song Chongshan, it pioneers plasma conversion of biogas into high-value chemicals and fuels. This novel technology actually provides new solutions to the utilization of waste resources towards value creation and also minimization of carbon emissions. A pilot plant for greenhouse gas capture has been built in the US already. And next, Carbono under our Department of Chemistry, led by Professor Wang Ying. She has developed a CO2 electrolyzer that converts emissions into valuable chemicals with up to 60% efficiency. This technology supports industrial decarbonization and renewable electricity to e-fuel conversion. And finally, CU Tech, also under our Department of Mechanical and Automation Engineering, co-founded by Professor Chen Benmei, Chen Xi, and Liu Yunhui. CU Tech develops autonomous drone systems and LLM-based digital twin technologies for inspection in confined areas. They have conducted cascade inspections for logistics centers in Hong Kong, as well as tunnel inspections in Shenzhen. So this is only like a handful of startups that I featured from our university. So backed by the university, we're actually proud to contribute to Hong Kong's innovation roadmap. We will continue to invest, mentor, and connect startup with ecosystem partners like CLP. And I look forward to hearing to the pitching session later on and exploring potential collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Coming up next is the panel discussion, From Innovation to Local Success, PIX4's Free Electrons Journey and Hong Kong Expansion. Moderating our session today is Brandon Zhou from CLP Holdings. He's joined by our distinguished panelists, including Andy Wong from Invest Hong Kong, Howard Lee from Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks, and also Renato Gomez from PIX4. Together, they represent the voices from both public and private sectors. In this panel, we'll hear from them how a startup develops solutions in response to industry challenges, how innovation is translated into applications, and how government organization is supporting international startups to scale and succeed in Hong Kong. Let's give them a warm welcome as they make their way to the stage.
Good afternoon, welcome everyone. So I'm excited for this panel discussion where we will discuss how, showcase how a Free Electrons alumnus, PIX4, has joined the program last year, and we'll talk about their expansion journey as well. And also the role of not only the Free Electrons program, but the role of the local ecosystems in which expansion takes place. So let's kick off with introductions. Joining me on the panel are Andy Wong, who's the Head of Innovation Technology at Invest Hong Kong. We've got Howard Lee, the Associate Director of Green Tech at Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, and Renato Gomez, who's the founder and president of PIX4. So let's kick off with some introductions. First, Andy, would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself and what you do?
It works, right? So thank you, Brandon. So first of all, thank you, CLP, for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here, particularly that we see a lot of foreign company and also foreign people who are visiting Hong Kong. First of all, my name is Andy Wong. I'm from Invest Hong Kong. I'm taking care of innovation and technology sector, which cover a quite wide range of different industry, like biotech and also green tech, and also material, new material, and also robotic, etc. So a little bit about Invest Hong Kong. We are a government department, so our role is to help people better understand about Hong Kong. For those companies who are interested to set up the business in Hong Kong, we provide different sort of support. First of all, if you want to know more about Hong Kong in terms of regulation, what's the market landscape, then we provide all the information. By the time you decided to set up or land in Hong Kong, and then we will provide the assistance, like how to easy things like set up a bank account, or maybe how to locate your office. And also more important is that we want to bring you to the network for Hong Kong in terms of the investor that you are looking for, in terms of the company that you want to work with. Very glad that CLP is one of the very well established electricity company in Hong Kong. And then we do have a different company startup and want to work with those corporate, and then we will try to match them together. And by the time if they set up in Hong Kong and they want to go overseas, we do help them to look at different sector or different location all over the world. Because apart from our headquarters in Hong Kong, around 150 people in Hong Kong, we do have another 30-something office all over the world. So leveraging our global network, that we should be able to help your company to build not just Hong Kong, but also in China and also all over the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Over to you, Howard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm from Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. We are the largest INT ecosystem in Hong Kong. Right now, we have over 2,300 companies in our campsite from 25 different countries and regions. Right now, there are over 24,000 people working in our site. Among them, 15,000 are R&D staff. So basically, 1 in every 3 R&D professionals in Hong Kong work in Science Park. Up till now, we have grown up 13 different unicorns from various industries, including biomedical, advanced manufacturing, smart mobility, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, and Renato.
Hi, everyone. I am Renato Gomes. I am the co-founder and president of Pixforce. We are an AI company, and we apply artificial intelligence to computer vision. So we take images, be it acquired by drones, be it acquired by humans, fixed cameras, and we apply software to process that image and deliver valuable information to our clients. Our main sectors are applying this technology to energy utilities and to oil and gas. So it's a kind of a mix, but really expanding quite quickly. We're based in Brazil originally. I am personally now based in Finland, where we have an office. And I'm very happy to say that this year we also opened an office here in Hong Kong. But we'll talk a little bit more about that during the panel. So it's great to be back here at Free Electrons after being a part of this journey starting last year.
Excellent. Let's stick with you, Renato, and let's delve into that story a little bit more. So your participation in the program led to a pilot with CLP, and we actually just signed a contract with you guys last week. So we're deployed. So tell us what attracted you to this program, the Free Electrons program, and secondly, what was it like working with CLP?
Yeah, and so starting with the program itself, I mean, I know for people who are participating, it might be somewhat of a given for the 15 finalists. The first thing that drew us was Beta I, which is the organizer of the event. We knew Beta I from other events. They have a significant presence in Brazil, and we knew the quality of the companies they bring together and how the selection process is already a first barrier to entry. So it really means that that was a given that, look, this is going to be something worthwhile. But the second factor is really the level and the caliber of the companies which were involved. So it goes without saying that each one of the energy utilities, which is part of Free Electrons, is a renowned household name in their own right, in their country. So it's an amazing program where in one single go, you have the possibility of talking to electric utilities from different parts of the world. And it's not an easy journey, we know, with any large company like that, but instead of being talking one-to-one with one company only, you have this opportunity of not only talking to these big companies, but learning a lot about their own environment, their own regulations, their limitations, and of course, the massive potential that each of them bring. So that's really what's attracted us to Free Electrons. And I know for the other 15 startups here this year, it's probably the same fact which attracted them. But in the case of CLP specifically, it was quite interesting because in the beginning, it wasn't an immediate match. So we had the advantage of having someone like Ivan, who was leading from the side of CLP, and Ivan didn't give up in the initial, like, oh, we've tried this, we can't do drones, we can't do this, you know, your satellite processing isn't good enough. So it wasn't something where it's like, okay, so good luck elsewhere, but really trying to follow up and find something where our technology could match the needs from CLP. So, and I think that goes for other energy utilities. We're still in talks with ESB from Ireland. We recently reconnected with E.ON. Now the time is right also for the discussion with them. And next week we are deploying with EDP in Portugal. So even though the success with CLP wasn't a short journey, Brendan emphasized the sign of the contract last week. So for the startups, you know, don't think it's going to be something quick, but it's this constant and continuous effort which the utilities lens, and that's very unique also of this program. So a long answer, but it's I think it's a valid one, because I know, having been where the startups are sitting now, that sometimes it seems a bit like this isn't going to be easy, but it's the professionals on the side of the utilities which they are really on your side. You know, I saw that with Ivan time and again, to the point that we got last week.
Thanks, Renato. And I think that's it's a reminder. It's not easy, and it's a reminder for the top 15. It's not easy, and it may not click straight away, but it takes a bit of persistence, and it takes a lot of bridging between startups and the utility business units. And but we got there in the end. But it's that really showcases how there's a certain constructive friction going on with innovation, right? It's not easy, and I think we're finding it in this year's cohort as well. We need to keep pushing, right? But we were really impressed with PixForce's ability to respond, right? Likewise, they didn't give up as well. They were like, okay, yeah, it's something we hadn't thought about, that use case that CLP presented, but you know, let's go away. And the answer was always yes, right? Always responded with, yep, we'll go away and we can fix that, we can do it. And then when we first piloted, the solution was, I think it was too sensitive, or it was the other way around. And then we tweaked it and it wasn't sensitive enough. So it does take some iterations. It is a lot of work, but we did get there in the end. So how did, we moved from one application to another. So that was a successful pilot. Can you talk us a bit about, you know, developing the other use cases that we had?
Yeah, so this I think is fascinating. So just to make clear, because Brendan's saying it's as if it's a casual thing, but I think there's a big merit to CLP in this case, because right from the beginning, Ivan was quite transparent about what wouldn't work. But then he brought a gentleman that we met for the first time right at the beginning, who was Ben Wan, who's an engineer with the distribution team. And Ben became instrumental, because he was really the one who was from the side of the business looking for a solution. So it's something I know that the other utilities also do, which is really working as a bridge between the innovation parts, bringing in the technology and connecting it to the right people. And in this case, Ben Wan was the person who brought this inspection of facades. So we're used to inspecting the actual equipment from substations. That's what our core technology does. It's an AI which will recognize the flaws. And Ben Wan mentioned from the get-go, look, most of our substations, they are in a building, because it's such an urban area in Hong Kong. So we do have problems with the facade of the building. So can this be done? And we're like, look, we don't do that. But let's give it a shot. And he showed us how the inspections are done today, how the images are collected. And as Brendan mentioned, it became about fine tuning. So initially we ran our algorithms and we were finding a lot of small defects. Every little crack was shown up as a defect. And I think this back and forth, which was led by Ben and his team, was extremely helpful, because it doesn't matter if we can make something work that doesn't work for CLP. So this dialogue that started to happen allowed us to fine-tune the algorithm. So at the end of the day, when we finally did 3 different batches of pilot tests, we finally got to a level where it's, okay, this is acceptable. This is better than a human, but it's not so good to the point that we're finding every little speck of dust is shown up as a problem, which it isn't a problem, structurally speaking. So I think this back and forth is really what allowed the final algorithm to be something which satisfied from a end-use perspective. And going back to the first question, I think this is something that is very valuable about the innovation teams that are here today. Because once they build this bridge, once they establish this connection, I think we really have to make sure that you work directly with the people on the other side. But remember, they are looking to solve a problem of their own. So it's really about being careful to hear them out, because at the end of the day, that's your client, right? So that's what you need to satisfy. And I think in the case here, Ivan did that very smoothly by bringing Ben into the conversation.
So it sounds like when people hear innovation, I think a lot of people think about its technology, but it sounds like it's even if you have comparable technologies, it's really the execution and the people side and bridging the gaps that really make things work, right? Now let's shift the focus to you establishing your operations in Hong Kong. So how did that the role of free electrons and CLP play in? You saw that the potential is bigger than just that use case that we had. How did that lead to your thinking of, hey, let's actually do something in Hong Kong. Let's actually move here. Renato, what was your initial thinking?
Yeah, so to be clear, CLP never forced us. They never said, oh, either open an office here or we don't sign a contract. But what started to happen was we started to see that there's much more opportunity, and that, I think, became like a natural step for us, where it's like, look, if we can grow within CLP and we can grow outside CLP, it makes sense for us to have a base in Hong Kong and use that to serve this client and beyond. And that's when we started to look at other aspects of Hong Kong. And it's fascinating because both gentlemen here to my right, they play a big part in us coming to Hong Kong. So one of the things we did is we took part in the Techathon, which is a massive startup competition, which is organized by Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. And we made it to the finals. We came in second place behind an AI company from China with like 40 patents, an amazing company that took the first position. But it's allowed us to join a program that they have, which supports us in coming to Hong Kong, which is this program called Ideation. So it's really a soft landing, and even though at 100+ professionals at Pixforce, we're a bit big for the ideation, they said, look, you can skip it and go to the next stage, or you can do the soft landing. So that was one of the steps we took when we decided to come. And Hong Kong Invest actually has an office in Brazil. They have offices all around the world. And from the early days, as soon as we started to identify through Ivan and through Ben that, like, there's really a potential, we got in touch with Hong Kong Invest in Brazil. And Hong Kong Invest in Brazil started to help us a lot with the bureaucracy, which in Hong Kong is very light compared to places like Brazil, but to make sure that that wasn't a hurdle, like from opening a bank account to establishing an office, all these things which we need as a company and sometimes can be a challenge even in our own markets and even bigger in a foreign jurisdiction. So at the end of the day, I think it's really the combination of CLP pushing us along and CLP also helping us. So when we were here for the event at Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, we had the opportunity to visit CLP here in their new headquarters by invitation of Ivan. We met the team, we met Ben Wan, we met other people from CLP. So I think it's a lot about the ecosystem. And I think it's something that as soon as you start to make connections with the utility, my suggestion is don't limit yourself as a startup to your interlocutor. Also look at the broader ecosystem, because you're going to find that there are other ways and other means of being assisted towards making that presence in the market you're aiming for much easier. So it's sometimes I think we forget that, but as soon as we start to look, you will find very, very helpful institutions like we did in Hong Kong Science and Technology Park and Hong Kong Invest.
Right. So over to you, Howard. So what made Pixforce a good fit for what you've got to offer, and what's this ideation program about?
Okay. For ideation program, we have 3 criteria to assess the candidate. First, the company got to have some advanced technology with good use cases. Second, it got to be an overseas company. Third, the company got to have ambition to explore the business in Hong Kong and even Asia Pacific region. So Pixforce checked in all 3 boxes, and we are more than happy to have you join our ecosystem. For the ideation program, it is actually a soft landing platform for the overseas companies to get a taste about Hong Kong market. It is a 1-year program. So during the period, the company can try to find out whether the Hong Kong customers accept their products or not. Through the program, we also will provide different resources like online training, training workshops, some business development support, and even 100,000 Hong Kong dollars for the companies to kick off the operations in Hong Kong. The company can also leverage our networks of different business partners so we can connect them with potential buyers to expand their business scope.
Thanks, Howard. And what about after? Once these startups grow up, where do you put them? Are the other programs?
Yeah, sure. We have other programs too. Normally, after the graduation of ideation, the company can join our incubation program. This is a 3-year program with a financial subsidy of up to 1.3 million Hong Kong dollars. So during the 3 years, the target is to have the companies have their tax solutions to be tailor-made, custom-made for Hong Kong markets, make it well accepted by the market, and ensure that there is enough sustainable cash flow for the company to survive independently. Then after incubation program, normally the companies will turn into a tenant in our ecosystem. During this period, they can also enjoy the ecosystems from different clusters. Take Green Tech cluster as an example. We have a Green Tech INT ecosystem with 18 partners, 18 business partners. They include business institutions, financial institutions, universities, industry supporting organization, and of course, CLP. Through this network, we provide the tech ventures with easy access to various business opportunities, different sources of funds, R&D facility support, and even test backed in university campuses. So as the business of the companies continue to grow to a certain amount of annual revenue or valuation, they are encouraged to join our co-acceleration program. It's another program. This program, the financial subsidy can be up to 15 million Hong Kong dollars. So the focus of this program at this stage is international expansion. We have an overseas team in Hong Kong Science Park, especially with connection with several overseas markets, including mainland China, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Japan. So the government officials and the corporate buyers over there continuously feed us with different pain points, and we'll scout the solutions for them. As the business continues to grow, the company can choose to join our last program. This is called the Elites program. This is another program. It's an equity investment program. The financial subsidy can be up to 22 million Hong Kong dollars. The target of this program is to exit either by IPO or M&A. So we target to groom up another batch of unicorns through this.
Sounds exciting. So, and
full range, comprehensive.
So you can reach out to Howard after this startups. But Andy, we heard from Lillian how with Hong Kong's been doing pretty well at growing the innovation ecosystem, putting a lot of initiatives in place. Specifically at Invest Hong Kong, what are some of the initiatives aimed at growing the startups in this region?
I think I'm going to supplement, right? For the startup, what they're looking for in Hong Kong, first of all, like the opportunity in terms of the business opportunity. The other one is about the funding support from the government or from the public sector. So for the networking or the business opportunity, I think, first of all, they can land it in Science Park, or there's another 2 parks available in Hong Kong called Cyberport, which is more focused on the software development. And also the up and coming, or the building will be ready to move in. It's called Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park, which is the location for that one is special because it's just next to Shenzhen. So that eventually people who live in Shenzhen can move to work in that park more easily. So that we got 3 parks which can serve the purpose for people, the startup to located into those locations. And different parks, they have a different kind of financial support. Like Howard mentioned, about 1.3 million for the startup to move in to join the incubation program. And then for the corporate, right? So CLP is a very good example to very open to adopt new technologies. That's why when we see a new company, new technology startup from all over the world, like Brazil, thank you so much for proving that we work, our system works. We have a very good service all over the world that you recognize that our work done in Brazil. And then that's why we have a 30-something office all over the world, be the first contact for those startups who want to know more about Hong Kong and then understand about Hong Kong and then reach out to them, and then they will refer those clients to our headquarters. And then from our headquarters, we will try to introduce those companies to different network ecosystem. Sometimes they may like to work with the university, like the spin-off from CU as an example. And also we got other university, which is very open to work with the incubation, the start new technology, work together, and also end up to work with the corporate that they may adopt those technologies, right? And then in terms of the financial support, of course, we do, Hong Kong is an international financial center, which have a different good banking for companies who sell here, and then easy to transfer their money flow, transfer the data from Hong Kong compared to maybe from China will be more restricted in this case. And therefore, we got a private PE VC fund, which is available in Hong Kong, but from the government, as Lilian said, which is the Ms. Lilian Chung said, the government is really give a lot of support to the startup in terms of financial support, like the funding from those parts, and also we got matching fund available, and also we have some tax deduction available, and also we launched a patent box scheme, which is allow the company who develop the IP in Hong Kong, and then by the time you use the IP for making money, and then the tax rate will be taxed at 5%, which is concessionary tax at 5% compared to 16.5%. So there's a different sort of a tax incentive matching fund. And also one important, maybe Leland may, haven't got time to mention, is called Research Talent Hub, which is subsidized for the company who hire the people who work on the R&D activity. Then and for the people who may be, depending on the degree that they have working in the R&D team, for the PhD degree working in the team, the company will subsidize for 45,000 Hong Kong dollar per month per person, for 4 person maximum to work in a company will obtain that subsidized for encouraging more people to work in the R&D. Thank you.
So the startups in the room can grab your email address after, or they can also just the contact details of the local offices to check if there's representation in your.
Fortunately, I got a few my colleague who is here, so
so not just them. You can find them in the front row, everyone.
I'm sure that people would love to hear more, so I invite my colleague to join so that we can share the loading. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So Renato, so why Hong Kong though? Why out of all the Asian cities, why did you just try to make that first step into Asia through Hong Kong?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's almost, we've had so many good presentations on Hong Kong that it's almost redundant. And I want to say the food, which is amazing in its own right. I mean, and I think CLP has been spoiling us with some of the best Hong Kong cuisine that we can get. But the truth is, I have had experience before in other places. So I'm actually on the board of a company listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, which is headquartered in Singapore. And that's a company I founded back in 2010. And I don't want to put Singapore down because it's a great jurisdiction. We work there successfully for a long time. But as soon as I started to learn more about the Hong Kong ecosystem in particular, I would say that's a first major advantage, because here, even though you might have some really mature companies, some very successful high-tech companies listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you can start at a very low level, get a lot of support, and have a very ease of access from a bureaucratic perspective and from a cost perspective. So I know the startups in the room are always very conscious about, okay, what does it cost to establish a business? And as importantly, to run that business year by year, right? What does it cost from an accounting perspective, a reporting perspective? And I think there Hong Kong stands out in its own right. So that's comparing to my own experience with Singapore. But then comes a second aspect, which I think is a bit more subtle, but is very important, which is the access that Hong Kong grants you in the region as a whole. So I think this is something very fascinating when you think about what's happening in terms of the growth in Southeast Asia, how fast it is, not only here, but in other parts of Southeast Asia, and how Hong Kong can really serve as a bridgehead. So we're already looking at other opportunities in the region. And yesterday, talking to the connections there at Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, led by Catherine Yu, which is exactly supporting the companies from the park to find new clients. They were mentioning specifically, look, it's not only about Hong Kong, it's also about other companies which they serve in the region, including Singapore. So I think that's a long answer to say, I think both the ease of doing business and the low cost of doing business, which is important to us, but then this possibility of connecting with companies in Hong Kong and the region, including mainland China, which I think from our perspective, at least when we're working with AI, is definitely not only a growing market, but a reference for us. Like, okay, can we beat what the other startups in China are doing? So in a way, back home in Brazil and in Finland, it becomes also a nice flag that we can hold around, like saying, look, not only do we have a contract with CLP in Hong Kong, but we're also entering that market, which is kind of like a testament to our credibility and competence. So I think those four reasons are really the rationale behind why we did it, and why I think a lot of the more well-positioned startups here should consider it also.
Yep. So it sounds like it's about connectivity, and I think CLP, as well as the other utility partners in the program, we've got a duty essentially to activate our local ecosystems, connect with them, and to grow the ecosystem, because it benefits all of us if there's a greater pond that we can fish from, right? So Howard, with that in mind, CLP and Hong Kong Science Park, we've been enjoying greater and greater collaborations and relationships. Has there been a specific change in your strategy to actually go beyond being just a landlord providing good facilities for startups, but actually providing more connectivity for startups? For instance, you've launched a Shenzhen branch recently, right?
In fact, that's our original mission. Is we haven't changed our mind. Apart from the office space you just mentioned and the programs I just mentioned, we also provide a lot of different kinds of support. What the Shenzhen branch is a very good example. We, through the strategic position of the Shenzhen branch in Futian, we try to help the overseas companies to get into the mainland China market. At the same time, we help the mainland Chinese companies to get out to Hong Kong market as well as the international market. And also, apart from all these, we also support the company by connecting them with different business partners. We have a network of over 500 business partners so that we can introduce them to our new tech solutions to cater for their pain points. Second, we also have an online matching platform. That's our industry partners can go up to look for any tech solutions that fits them. The third one, we have 2 physical showrooms, one in Pasha Kok main campus and one in Inno Center, to showcase the tech solutions from our companies. Also, we got another network, investor network of over 1,000 investors. Their risk appetite is from a pre-seed to pre-IPO, so that can cater for different needs of the vendors. Another part is we are very focused on pushing them to the international markets. Apart from the overseas team I just mentioned, we actively bring the tech ventures to different exhibitions and conferences in the international space, like LEAP, FII8 in Middle East, like CES in United States, WMC in Spain, Sushi Tech in Japan, GITES in Singapore, and so on. The last point I want to mention is Global Booster Program. This is already the second year we have this Global Booster Program. this year we sent 9 companies to the United States, and they will stay there for 6 months. During the period, they will receive different kind of comprehensive training, pitching workshops, and most importantly, countless meetings with different business partners and investors. Through the program, we hope that they can not just establish a strong footing in North American markets, as well as the international markets. Last year, the cohort was very successful. The cohort successfully secured $15 million of business contracts and investments. And this year, we are looking forward to more good news.
Thanks, Howard. Okay, we've got, might just end with one question each, and we'll see if we've got time for a question or two from the floor. But Renato, what is, to save you from having 15 independent conversations, what is one piece of advice for the startups in the top 15 this year that you would give to them if they are considering a leap into market expansion?
Yeah, there's so much there, right? So I'll try to be short. I think one of the first things which is important, which I can't emphasize enough, is like these companies, they are big. We all know this. We know that they do something very, very well, and they've been doing it for years, decades. So they can't change on a dime to adopt new technology. So we have to be cognizant of their perspective also, right? We have to see, look, how can we make sure that our technology fits into something which is already working? And that usually requires time. And I think when we see that CLP, we got a contract last week, it really was a journey of several months working very closely with Ivan, with Ben Wan, with the whole team there at CLP. But it's worthwhile because once you're in, you don't only have that big client, but even within the organization, there's room for expansion. So one of the things that it was actually Brendan Joe who brought up was, look, how can we apply this technology, which has been effectively co-developed with CLP? So CLP has given us feedback, has shown, look, this is a problem here for us. How can we apply that technology within the Hong Kong market? And how can the CLP bring this to market? So really, as we've worked so hard to get to this stage, how can we actually take this further? So I think this is one of the things that's worthwhile, is not to look at the initial hurdle and the initial difficulties, but think, look, once this is established, how much further can you go with that partnership with the utility? And I emphasize the word partnership because you're not selling something from one day to another. And, you know, not to hum on about Hong Kong, it's as I mentioned also, like we continue to talk with ESB. We're deploying that EDP next week for a 6-month already paid pilot. We are in advanced discussion with Hydro-Quebec about doing a pilot also there for their substation. So remember, it doesn't stop the day you fly back home from Hong Kong or eventually from the grand finale in Dublin. Continue the conversation. And one of the things that I think CLP did, which was brilliant and I think was essential, we were doing like frequent meetings. So every 15 days, later on every week when we were doing the tests. So to have that continuous relationship become something essential in order to build this bridge, which will continue way after this event, as we have with those other utilities, and very recently now with E.ON also. So I think the fruits of the program will not come immediately. So very important to keep the pace and to remember, you might not leave the finale with a signed contract. We didn't, but you have to continue if there is a perspective. And one of the things is to be very honest about your limitations, right? I mean, what we couldn't do. And with that, work together with the utility to find the right fit, the right solution. So a lot there, but it's because I really think that you are in a very, very privileged place, even though it might not seem so when you're talking to a utility and another. So do not take it for granted, because I think if you work closely with them, you're open about the limitations, the potential, I think very, very good things will come. But not tomorrow, not the day after, perhaps in 9 months' time, like the gestation, which was with CLP.
So keep persisting. So Andy, what is a common misconception about doing business in Hong Kong that startups or businesses after they arrive, they realize that it's not true.
Right. I think it's not, may not be misconception, but maybe, wow, Hong Kong is wonderful.
Do you guys agree?
Hopefully.
This week? How about that? How's Hong Kong?
Okay. I think easy to do business in Hong Kong is really attracting. So no matter you open an account, you can do it within a day or 2 days, right? So and a lot of funding has been provided since a couple of years ago. I remember that mentioned 2019 is the first time that start the free electron in Hong Kong. Then during that 5 or 6 years, right, the whole world is COVID, right? So it stopped the people coming to Hong Kong. And then because of that, people may think, oh, lose the real information about Hong Kong. Hong Kong remain the same, free of freedom to speech, and then financial service, and also different cultural things. East, West remain in Hong Kong. And since you are here, that you can feel that the dynamics about Hong Kong. We have a very good construction in Hong Kong. Look at the MTR system, right? We are very well connected. You can go everywhere through the underground, and also you can go to the countryside within 30 minutes, right? Very easy. And we have more connection with China. So if you are using Hong Kong as a springboard to China, definitely is an ideal location because well connected to the area called Greater Bay Area. For those who may not be familiar, Greater Bay Area is the a concept about 9+2, 9 mainland city in the Guangdong area, plus 2 city. One is in Macau, one is in Hong Kong. The reason why we separate the two, because the two has a different jurisdiction, with different law, different currency. That's why we maintain Hong Kong as using the common law system. So we adopt both English and Chinese language in the law system, but that law is a common law. That's why it's easier to work together with different countries, right? Different market. That's why I make it very easy to do the business in Hong Kong. And remember, the tax rate in Hong Kong is very low. 16.5 for the corporate. If you earn less than 2 million for a bit more startup case, then the tax rate is only 8.25. And the personal, the max is only 15%. So the Hong Kong, it's not forced to you to come, but it's a choice for you to come. And there's a lot of good reason for you to come. Thank you.
Right, thanks. And one last question. So, well, Howard, from a green tech perspective, what's one niche area that you see that Hong Kong could really excel in?
HASTP, I think. When you come to Hong Kong, you do come to HASTP as well. As you said, you can see we have a full spectrum of different support and services available for you. So my team is here. So no matter which stage your company is in now, come talk to us.
All right, and unfortunately we're out of time, but so there's no questions, no time for questions on the floor, but we can talk in the break. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you to our panelists. And also, as we will be moving to the next element in our agenda, I would like to just say that there will be a break. So right now will be a moment really to ask questions. And we have here, I see teams from Invest Hong Kong and Hong Kong Science Technology Park. So maybe raise your hand because I'm pretty sure you will get a lot of questions. Thank you very much for the perspectives. It's a great, I myself have lots of questions, so I'm definitely going to talk to you. As I'm waiting to have more space on the stage, in a minute we will go for the networking break, 10 minutes. But before we go, for the very last time, to memorize this moment, we are going to take a group picture, which I'm very excited about. So I would like to welcome everyone and come join me here on the stage. There is plenty of space in front. We already trained many times throughout the week. If you are missing to hold our long banner today, we do not have our banner, but we have some props that we will hand in. So please don't be scared of the stage. Startups, everyone is already familiar with this. It's a very nice place. Come here. We will take a group photo for the very last stage. Yes, we can go up. Please join me. We will try to stand in layers. So whoever is very tall is invited to stand in the back. We will be layering down here. Down.
To sit on the stage here.
Whoever is just in front of the stage, you can exactly sit down here. And the first level will be seated on the... There's plenty of space up here, so join us. And I see that John already found gadgets to hold. Whoever wants, some to the top. Whoever is missing our banner. And hold, one more here. Great. Plenty. 2. Very good. So many of us. There's plenty of space here. Join us up on the stage. There. Yes, we need to really hug each other a little bit more here on the stage. Really have space. Oh, I love this one. Networking break. We will have 10 minutes. Make sure to start conversations, ask your questions, and we will be back for startup pitches. that you haven't talked to and you would like to do so, there will be time for that in the very end. And right now I already see it's a little bit more quiet. Everyone get to your seats. Take the front seats. There will be really, it will be important to see, although the screen is truly enormous. So I'm pretty sure everyone everywhere in this room will see the presentation. So as you're slowly coming back to your seats, I will start that we have here top 15. But what it means, top 15? We have absolutely creme de la creme of startups in the energy sectors, bright minds, great ideas, wonderful ventures. And we are going to get to know all 15 of them. We already heard some presentations in the morning going into details, but it will be absolutely great to see one more time the review of the whole cohort. So this year's cohort is really, really special. If you think about this, I think the admission to free electrons program is as difficult to get to free electron program for startups as it is to get to Harvard, really. Even harder. I think Manuel once calculated that. And this year, in 2025, ninth edition, free electrons got more than 800 applications. Startups interested, having an idea, what kind of collaborations they would like to develop with utilities. Utilities then selected 60, only 60 startups that pitched online, and then they will select only 30, so half was selected, and we spent the week together in Sydney. But that wasn't enough. There was another selection of the top 15, so this is really to understand that this is creme de la creme. So without further ado, because I see you're all back, I would like to start with the first presentation, and the rules are simple. It's really like speed pitching, 3 minutes. So really get your ideas. Marta is here in front. She's with the timer. We need to be really, really on time. Questions will be in the end. We really want to go on and present now startups so that conversation further on are even more interesting. And first on the stage, I would like to invite Gridbrit and Ivan Paco. Oh, it will be Karina. Karina, join me here. Microphone is here, clicker as well, and 3 minutes on the clock.
So growing is not energy. Trillions of dollars are directed to flow into clean energy infrastructure. Over the next several years to power the electrification of our economy, AI data centers, and our energy security. But power projects are complex, and we're developing energy systems that leads to very lengthy, fragmented process that leaves hundreds of millions of dollars in opportunity costs on the table. And that's because the traditional project development process is broken. Most companies, they try to use fragmented tools, custom-made Excel spreadsheets that are unable to conciliate the synergies between all the different technologies and the complexity of the markets that they're trying to serve. And existing tools are fragmented and outdated, and they don't really reflect the needs of the modern market, where you have multiple technologies, multiple markets, and many opportunities to play not just on the energy systems, but also on the ancillary services market. And that's really where we come in. Gridbrit is the operating system for the energy transition. And we do that through our holistic analysis. So Gridbrit replaces traditional tools because we unify the technical, financial, and economic modeling for renewable, non-renewable, and storage assets of all sizes with one collaborative platform, enabling better, faster collaboration between internal and external teams, and getting more renewable energies projects done faster, more profitable, and in a much scalable way. So far we've been empowering over 30 customers around the world in 19 countries, including Tesla, Indonesia Power, AFRY, to plan, build, and operate their projects with more profits across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Our founding team includes myself and Dr. Eva Paco, with over 10 years of experience in the energy sector, with my experience in the financial sector, to build a tool that makes great decisions, not just on a technical sense, but also on the economic modeling as well. So essentially, we've created a platform that helps companies to plan, build, and operate their projects better with data-driven decisions. So from the financial analyst all the way to the CFO, or from the technical analyst all the way to the CEO, can have a very granular understanding about what they're building and why. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for opening the session. That's a very stressful role. Going to the second one, and I already see Mike Rosenberg here, Circadian Technology.
Hi, everyone. So I just want to leave you with a big idea today. We need more flexible capacity to add solar and wind to our grids, and telecoms represent the most overlooked source of behind-the-meter flexibility. So these sites, which there's 5 million across the world, 600,000 in Europe, represent potentially hundreds of gigawatts of flexible capacity if we properly dimension those sites. And if this is the decade of energy storage, then 2025 is the year of resilience. January, Storm Owen in Ireland. April, Iberia knocked out of power and telecoms. Just last week, Czech Republic. Telecoms and energy are finally joining from their silo positions, and telcos are looking for backup. We developed a Copia branded BPP platform to link these assets together and unlock strategic revenue for telcos. Now, these companies are sitting on a gold mine of underutilized connections and could benefit from flexibility, local flexibility premiums in the future. And we have some great tailwinds in terms of rising negative power in Europe and so on. Now, we started working with telcos, and what we do here is we have hardware that controls the sites. This has been a problem for these behind-the-meter assets, battery analytics platform, and kind of a middleware aggregation solution that plugs into the trading companies, whether it's utilities, trading engines, or partner startups. And we just take a humble SaaS fee for this. Working with Free Electrons, we've unlocked a new opportunity to really move up the value chain. And this is representing our total sort of AR potential on the SaaS, but maybe future trading revenue as well. And so we started our engagement with Deutsche Telekom, 40,000 telecom towers, 20,000 of them ground mount, rapidly upgrading to lithium. Let's unlock some of this revenue stream, and they're already doing it with data centers. But Free Electrons has really driven us in a new direction. So there's go-to-market potential with utilities, and with ESB specifically in Ireland, which has its own tower co division, we can put in something much more ambitious. So rather than just upgrading from lead acid to lithium and keeping these assets small, 5 kilowatts per site, what if we put in a larger cabinet or even one of these kind of mini containers, liquid cooled, advanced fire protection systems, a backup to the backup, and first and foremost, a trading asset. So imagine 5 million sites globally with 100 kilowatts of flexible capacity. In Ireland alone, 6,000 potential sites. And this is shaping up to be a really exciting pilot, and it's driven by an incredible industry change in batteries, falling prices, exciting companies we're going to meet with next, from tomorrow, we're meeting with Sunwoda, 5 billion market cap partner in Shenzhen, and adopting their mini containers to deploy these kind of pilots. So we have a background in telecoms. That's why we knew about this market. We know how to control these assets. We have the hardware to manage these sites. We're familiar with cybersecurity. We're the company to deliver on it, and we are out of time. So we would love any introductions you have in the telecom space. Always happy to talk and brainstorm, and thanks for your time.
Big round of applause. Thank you very much, Mike. Going very fast. Startup number 3 will be Jua, and Marvin Gabler will join me here on the stage presenting Jua.
Hey everyone, we've seen all how AI transformed language and image, and now the next frontier will be energy. The energy markets are getting way more volatile with electrifying mobility. And at the same time, we're moving to renewables, which are fundamentally cheap but highly volatile. So we need to predict fundamentally what will happen. And that's what we are fundamentally building at Chua. We've built a foundation model which allows us to learn the world's physics directly from data and can fundamentally simulate physical processes. What this allows at the moment, we're setting the state of the art for global weather prediction between both governmental models as well as models from big tech. And how this technology is being applied is mainly our customers are from the utility space and energy traders that use that to extract signals for their daily trading operations, as well as for their asset optimization. So to see how that looks, fundamentally the model predicts weather up to 20 days in the future, but we can also predict directly with that foundation model the production. We extract signals, deltas for the trading, as well as the deltas between what the market thinks will happen versus what the reality will look like. It's the start of a new kind of technology that allows like language models, large language models learn large patterns from human data. It's the start of a paradigm of models that can actually simulate the physical reality, the physical world. And yeah, we're excited to see the results from our customers that are using the models daily on their trading floors with reduction of balance costs and increased P&L impact in their daily trading operations. So how it's used, we have a platform which subscription-based seating, graphical platform that people are using, as well as for the algo traders, they can access our data via an API and SDK that we provide in a usage-based business model. Happy to chat more. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you, Margot. Thank you. And now slowly, I already see Chloe Durant from LatentTech to present. Big applause.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Very happy to be here to briefly introduce LatentTech, our company. So this is myself, co-founder, COO, so Chloé Durand. I'm joined today here by with Benoit Gendron, also CEO here in the room. So we're happy to chat afterwards. So we have a team of pretty experienced, entrepreneurs and also industry players, over 25 years of experience, mostly in the telecom industry, but also developing tech-based products. And we strongly believe that connectivity is the new electricity. Sorry for this over here, but I think it's really what powers innovation today. So we connect everything nowadays, and the more we connect, the more we depend on a network. And utilities and other companies are no different, right? So this is why we developed a solution that's been developed over 3 years, a lot of R&D, tested over 100 corporate networks. So we invested quite a lot in this technology, over 1.1 million US, and we have a patent in the US and also soon in Europe. So basically, our technology is a 100% software solution where you can install different software probes in different locations in the network, in different types of equipment, to really be able to monitor from these endpoints the quality of the network. So any types of network it could work, 5G, 4G, LTE, satellite connectivity, to really get a full visibility on what's going on in your network. This is an example of our dashboard. So we have really customizable dashboards. It's already in a commercial product, so it's used by our clients. And what our clients like about our solution most of the time is that it provides them real-time visibility on what's going on in their network, in the operational network. It's also easy to deploy and to operate since it's 100% software, so we don't have to go on site, install different pieces of equipment. And it's also pretty light, and it can be used on a production network, so it doesn't have to be used just on a lab. It really complements other types of tools. And it's also technology agnostic and also vendor neutral. So we can install it on different types of equipment and different types of technology. So this allows companies to really compare, for example, the 5G network with the satellite connectivity. To give you an idea of some of our clients that we have right now, so we have a bit of traction internationally. So we're a Montreal-based company, but we operate in different countries as well. And we have a basic SaaS, business model that's easy to scale. So it's easy to scale in different countries, scale depending on the size of the network, the size of the company as well. So it allows us to serve smaller companies, but also grow with them in a quite flexible way. And right now we're raising a seed fund, so for 1.5 US, really to grow the commercialization team and to tap into new markets for us, new verticals as well. We have a pretty good subsidized product company in Canada for all the R&D efforts, but on the commercial side, we always need a boost to go to market a lot faster. So thank you. Happy to chat afterwards.
Thank you, Chloe. We're going very, very fast, but I hope it gives you as well the idea. I'm pretty sure you heard this about those startups, but especially that is interesting session for so many of you from the CLP team, from all our partners as well. It's great to have clear questions to our startups. Right now, I would like to welcome to the stage MindMargin, Felix Wu will present. Great round of applause, energy. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. So hi everyone, I'm Felix Wu of MindMargin, and we are a company from Beijing, China. So today I'm really excited to come to Hong Kong and meet my Hong Kong friends. So MindMargin, we are a company using AI technology to do the high resolution weather forecast and electricity trading. So for the weather forecast, we have over 300 customers in China, mainland China. And for the electricity trading, we are trading 15 billion kilowatt hour every year. So, for our products and services, we do the weather forecast first. And based on the weather forecast, we do the generation, supply and demand forecast, because demand and supply determine the price. And then based on the price, we do the trading strategies. And above those platform, we offer the software and the tools to our utilities customers, and also for some customers without trading team, we do the trading for them. So here for the weather, we use the AI technology to do the very high resolution and the very high accuracy weather forecast. We can down to the 1 kilometer resolution. And here's the comparison of our forecast and the other data source. And over the 40 wind farms, our production forecast outperformed the original ones. And you can see more evaluation of our data comparing with the competitors or the market average. So through the whole process, we use the AI technology, not only improve the profitability 2 times, but also improve the efficiency 10 times. So here is some of our customer cases. So in mainland China, we already provided our weather data and the production forecast for over 100 farms. And for one of the wind farm in Shandong province, actually this is also owned by CLP. And the last year we tested 1 month and helped them to increase the revenue by 15%. And here's the one retailer in Shandong province, and we have this retailer increased 100% profit last year. And for this is the best grade scale best in Shandong, and also we use our technology increase their profit by 44%. And last case is a very new one, and this is in Liaoning province. It's a iron manufacturing, and we saved $600K per month for this customer. So that's it, and we are looking forward to working with CLP closely and also the Hong Kong ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great. Next up is Anzen, and I see Preti is already come here. Preti Jayakumar.
Hi everyone, I'm Preeti. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Anzen, a solid-state heat pump for hard-to-heat homes. So in whichever part of the world we are in, we all know that we're experiencing very hot summers and very cold winters. And heat pumps right now are our only cure to this problem. Unfortunately, the way we're pumping heat these days is not so efficient or future-proofed. The reason is, one, we use refrigerants, which will eventually get phased out because they have high global warming potential. Secondly, installation and maintenance is complex and cumbersome. And finally, despite how efficient they are, they're not the most flexible in terms of the physics limitations of compressor-based systems. And that's why we essentially employed a different form of heat pumping called thermoelectric effect, which uses these semiconductors. These semiconductors, essentially, when powered up, they pump heat. And what that means is you've got that sleek Apple-esque unit there in your house with no outdoor unit, just two wall penetrations, and ultimately no refrigerants, easy to install, especially in high rises, and completely and highly tunable up to 1:10 ratio of modulation. Essentially, these are some of our product specifications that we've reached so far. Well, fundamentally, we've been able to achieve quite high temperatures on the heating, on the cooling efficiency, we're still improving, and we're looking to launch our air conditioner model in the next 2 years. Right now, our heating systems are being deployed with an efficiency of over 2, and we are proud to announce that next year, this time, we'll be launching our hot water unit as well, and we're looking to essentially have more such kitchen units and more such products on the timeline. This is one of the pilots that I'd like to talk about, which was installed in a local council in London. You can see that all you need are just these two holes and that unit there, and you can get about 2 kilowatt of heat, and it's highly flexible, highly tunable. So to all the utilities here, you've got a very highly responsive grid asset. And essentially, it's not just the hardware. We also provide the software with the APIs that would help to control it, especially when you look at it on a citywide deployment or a countrywide deployment. So where we are in our commercial journey, we are a B2B business. So we have right now partnered and are having ongoing conversations with some of the largest developers in the UK and now looking to expand it to other regions as well. In terms of the certifications, we are CE certified, but that being said, nothing's stopping us from getting it all across the world either. We have filed patents in the UK and have expanded it now through a PCT as well. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for listening very intently, and we are going to be raising our seed round next year early, and we'll be looking to invest to get investors as well as to look at different pilot projects across the regions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Join the solid state revolution.
Good. Next up, I would like to invite Oliver Higby from AssetCo.
Hi everyone, great to be here in Hong Kong. I'm Dr. Oliver Higby from AssetCo, and we coat conductors. So my mum used to always tell me it's what's on the inside that counts. But after being through the UK dating scene, I think the outside counts as well. And I think this is true on the grid. So utilities really concentrate on what's on the core, and the outside has been forgotten about somewhat. And this is what we're here to look at. So what we see in Hong Kong is we see huge amount of electrification. We see difficult to expand because of the land constraint. And we see voltage fluctuations due to weather. And we think we have the solution. We think coat conductors at scale. So this is our coating. It's a photonic coating. It simultaneously reflects sunlight and emits heat very strongly. This drops the operating temperature of the conductor down through passive cooling by up to 25%. Or alternatively, you can keep it at the same temperature and increase that capacity by up to 30%. And on my right-hand side, and in the room behind you on your left, this is our robot that can deploy it tower to tower. And this is what it typically looks like. So beforehand, we have an uncoated conductor here in gray, very, very hot. And in blue, you can see the substantial decrease in temperature due to cooling. This is our coated conductor in blue. And this just doesn't just work on its own. This works very well with existing grid technologies. So taking an example from this morning with ESB, we looked at high temperature, low sag conductors. These are brilliant for increasing capacity, but they run very hot and they have quite high losses. If you're able to coat them, you can bring down the operating temperature and really decrease those losses. Alternatively here, behind me, we can see DLR. DLR is brilliant when the wind is blowing, but when we see a decrease in wind, we actually see a reduction in rating compared to static rating. It's our thesis that you should coat it first and then install DLR, and that would see an increase in ampacity in all conditions. And these are the economics. It's very cheap to coat. So we see a 95% reduction in the pound per kilometer cost versus reconductoring, or an 80% reduction in the pound per megawatt cost. And we've been traveling. Recently, we've been in Nepal. This was our first kind of venture out into this side of the world, experiencing the intense heat and humidity that we've enjoyed here this week. And we're able to coat from a substation to another substation in a matter of days and teach local linesmen that don't necessarily speak your language how to really work with this technology. And I'll leave you with a celebration. So last week we announced our Series A funding round, and this has really given us the resources and the partners we need to go from our pilot stage right now to full commercial deployment. Thank you for listening.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation. And I would like to welcome to the stage Michael Beira, representing Linebird.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here. At Linebird, we are looking to transform the way we work on the grid. We seek to train and equip the workforce of the future, leveraging unmanned aerial systems for a safer, better, faster way to do the work that the grid sorely needs all around the world. So the problem that we're solving for, this work is very hard. You all know this. I don't need to get into the details, but it's one of the most hazardous, difficult occupations in the developed world, and even more acutely in the developing world. We are solving for this problem with some more stats on this. The fatality rates, injury rates, terrible. The grid constraints on most modern economies with rising data center demand and electrification, extreme weather events, all the rest. The work is more and more necessary. And even the investment community is taking notice that the capital is no longer a constraint, both from private and public side. It is the workforce that needs to be augmented and equipped for the future. And we are doing that here today with drone payload solutions for off-the-shelf professional grade drones, adapting the line tools that are already used today and that we develop in the future to be 10 times faster in your grid build out, deployment, and maintenance, a tenth the operational cost of helicopters, 4 times faster and 4 times cheaper than truck crews, ability to reach lines in just about any terrain, and minimize risk to crew. Boots on the ground with a controller in your hand instead of hanging in the air next to high voltage, maybe off the side of a helicopter. Climate-wise, we are directly mitigating the emissions of the vehicles, but as an indirect enabling technology, we seek to have a gigaton scale climate impact for the many things that need a better way to deploy and work on the grid, such as smart grid sensors. The technology is patented in several countries and pending in many others. That's our flagship product there, the Osprey non-conductive payload system, taking a resistance measurement on a conductor line there. And our add-on business model is things like drills and drill bits. So we make many different end effectors for cutting, installing sensors, removing debris, doing repairs, enabling collaborative robotics with the workforce. And we are providing these to utilities and to their contractors, whoever is doing the work on the grid. And we are, let's see, going to market now in the US. We have several anchor customers, but internationally, we're very excited to be expanding around the world. We're happy to be in the Free Electrons program. Very great conversations we've had so far. And see very potential in developed markets as well as emerging markets. And with that, I'm just happy to say that we're glad to be here and we hope you'll comply with us. Also that the unmanned systems industry is very strong here and we would very much appreciate any introductions to some of the best drones in the world that get made in this region. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael. Very good. We are halfway through, and now to the other half, and starting with Rewind, Matthew Gerathi will be presenting. Applause.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matthew. I'm the CEO of Rewind, and we're on a mission to change the way that the wind industry manages end of life for wind farms. Now, when you guys think about sustainable energy, you're probably thinking solar, wind, battery storage. But what if I told you that the wind industry had a dirty little secret? And that's that right now, wind turbines are literally being buried alive. There's a senseless waste of valuable resources that could be used to fuel the energy transition. And fortunately, it's only getting worse. If you track the installation of wind farms over the last 20 years, it's been an exponential increase since the mid-90s, which means now 20 years later, an exponential increase in the number of turbines that are coming offline. And this is going to increase by 650% by mid-century. So what this means right now is that the amount of wind farms that are being decommissioned is accelerating faster than the amount of wind farms that are being installed. And this is where Rewind comes in. We breathe new life into wind projects by giving our customers, the owners and operators of these wind farms, the data they need to make better decisions around end of life and help them to turn those liabilities in decommissioning projects into opportunities for new, bigger, better repowering projects. Now, you're probably wondering how we do that. So we have a SaaS-based platform that has three kind of core features at the moment. Firstly, we have our own bottom-up decommissioning cost model, which allows our customers to optimize and find better ways to decrease the cost of decommissioning. Secondly, we're backed by DNV, the world's largest renewable energy consultancy, and have 30 years worth of data to work out exactly what materials are in your turbines. And this is data our customers can't get anywhere else. It's fundamental to have a successful decommissioning and repowering project. And finally, we built the wind industry's only database of end-of-life service providers, saving our customers days and months of trying to find the right partners for their projects. So, I mean, don't just take it from me. We think it's great. We've got lots of happy customers like SSE, who've been with us now for over 2 years. They're the utility in Scotland, and they have been using us to optimize their end-of-life projects and for their sustainability reporting for the last 2 years in a row. We estimate we've saved them about $500,000 so far compared to using consultants and other external services. And we're growing rapidly. We've got 26 customers all over the world, from Asia to Europe to North America. I want to give a shout out to one of them today. It's ESB, who are sitting here today. They signed a pilot with us as part of the Free Electrons program. So I think we should give them a big round of applause while we're here. And lastly, I want to give a big shout out to our team. We've brought people together from tech, from myself being the person who used to write these studies at DNV now, as well as product development and software development expertise. So we are fundraising right now. We're looking to raise a round of $2.5 million US, and we need you guys to be the wind beneath our wings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Beautifully said. Now I already see John. Very good. Join me here presenting Energy Hawk. John Well.
Hi, everybody. So my name is John Wells. I'm the CEO of Energy Hawk, and Energy Hawk has measured the rooftop solar capacity for over 800,000 commercial and industrial buildings globally. We use predictive modeling and satellite imagery to not only measure the rooftop solar capacity, but we're also predicting the energy consumption behind the meter for these C&I buildings. So for the utility partners that we're chatting with this week, you know, that portion's a little less relevant, but for the large solar developers we support back in the States, they want to know generally what the kilowatt hour consumption and peak demand is for these buildings. So for each business that we cover, we provide the business name, the address, the phone number, the estimated consumption behind the meter, as well as the estimated solar capacity for that rooftop. So we are covering the panel quantity, as well as using LiDAR to identify objects on roofs and deploy the panels around those objects. So what this data looks like in raw format, because some of our customers love just Excel, CSV, others love the app, the software. This is what they get. So they can say, hey, John, you know, we're looking for 100,000 square foot plus rooftops in greater Hong Kong. Oh, and by the way, it would be great if they had, about a megawatt of demand behind the meter. That way we can estimate kind of payback period and opportunity. But what you can do is export this data right from Energy Hawk, append energy decision contacts, so CFOs, directors of facilities, plant managers, people who are making the decisions about solar, and then fuel them into hyper-specific, variable-driven email campaigns that allow for a 70% open rate, a reply rate that could use a little bit of work, but ultimately, a campaign that was run for the largest solar developer by megawatt in the United States. This generated roughly about $37 million in qualified pipeline. So that's meetings with electricity bills beforehand, with solar decision makers at large commercial businesses. So this is really exciting from a sales perspective. I formerly sold solar storage, demand response, energy retail. If it was a C&I energy product, I probably had a quota for it at some point. I used to live and breathe on Google Maps, hovering over these commercial parks, and ultimately we have automated a way to basically provide really powerful sales enablement data for the future of the energy transition. So this is a quick snapshot of our coverage in different markets. In China specifically, we're covering over 110,000 rooftops that are greater than 4,500 square meters. So, really excited to continue our discussions with CLP, but other Chinese entities we're excited to chat with as well. And these are just a few of the customers that we've supported thus far. And I think that's my time. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Great. Next up, we have Octapipe, and I would like to welcome to the stage Eric Toppen.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Eric. I'm the CEO and one of the 3 co-founders of Octapipe. We are an AI platform for the optimization of energy efficiency in the data center. So every hour, every day, data centers globally waste enough energy to power Hong Kong, which I thought was a cool little factoid. And the real culprit in all of this, the hidden inefficiency, is the cooling system of the data center, which accounts for somewhere between 30 and 50% of the data center's energy budget. And if we could make every data center in the United States a mere 10% more efficient, we would release an additional capacity that would meet the demands of the data center footprint globally today. Now, the really silly thing is that, frankly, the cooling system is just the dumbest piece of the infrastructure of intelligence. We have all of this smart stuff going on sort of outside of the data center, some of that technology that we've seen here in free electrons. We've, of course, got AI workloads happening, doing some really cool stuff, but really the cooling system employs pretty outdated PLC-level heuristic control. And Octapipe is built to solve this problem. Our AI control optimization platform delivers a 10 to 15% saving in the total DC energy budget via a 30 to 40% saving in the cooling system. How do we do that? Well, under the hood, Octapipe is an infrastructure platform for intelligence. We bring together the state-of-the-art in deep reinforcement learning, federated edge computing, and large language models to deliver that effect across multiple sites that we can scale while guaranteeing a very high degree of security, privacy, and sovereignty to the data center. But that infrastructure means that for us, cooling is really just the beginning. And in fact, our kind of aspiration, our mission, our vision, if you like, is to be able to render the AI infrastructure of the future safe, secure, and sustainable. And that means that our system will and can stretch into other points within the data center infrastructure, not just the cooling, but the allocation of workloads and indeed the distribution of training and fine-tuning workloads across different sites, different GPU clusters. And in doing so, we believe that we can drive a twofold improvement in the IT utilization efficiency, which will release another 25% compute capacity for the same energy cost, hopefully just in time for the predicted bottleneck in late 2027 of GPU capacity for the AI industry. And it turns out saving the planet is good business. Yay! So the TAM today is 22 billion in Asia. That's about $4.5 billion. But we estimate that by the time we get to 2030, when we package this entire system together, that TAM grows to somewhere between 70 and 80 billion dollars a year. And I think it's interesting that Asia is a very attractive market because for every gigawatt hour that we cut in Asia, that's worth about $24,000, whereas the rest of the world, it comes to an average of about 19. And I think that's pretty much my time. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. We're in our first 6 deployments. We're partnering with OEMs, SIs, and hopefully the utilities too. And I'm very pleased that we closed the funding round last week for a modest 1.8 million. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eric. Very good. Now I would like to welcome to the stage Lennart Wilkening, presenting Swena.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. I really enjoy being in Hong Kong. And yeah, I'm Lennart, one of the co-founders of Swena, the CEO. And I just want to say it again. I mean, we see a quite strong build-out of renewable energies. And what we also see is that they're having a really strong impact now on the system. So they're becoming a system-setting technology. So we see a strong impact on the system stability, on the grid, on the power markets. We see a lot of negative prices. It becomes more and more complex to handle renewables. It's also pushing forward the need for flexibility, the deployment of flexibility, the deployment of batteries, which is very good. But actually to handle all of this, you need quite advanced trading technologies. So our mission is actually to bridge the gap between green energy and advanced trading. So yeah, we are positioning us as the only fully algorithmic and AI-based trader for large-scale batteries and renewable energies. And we can really see that technology makes already a big difference. So if we look at last year's revenue, we boosted revenues for large-scale batteries by 150%, which is quite a lot. While this, we use advanced models to extend the battery lifetime for batteries. And also, yeah, like we are able to trade across multiple markets to reduce the risk of trading. Our customers are on one side, like large utilities, and on the other side, like asset owners, like independent power producers, project developers, infrastructure funds. And we're very proud of our assets under management, 650 megawatt of renewables and batteries. So the market is big. We need a lot of investment into these technologies until 2030, 35 trillion. And I guess the investors, they are all very, very motivated to invest. But what we also see is that they're facing very complex, volatile markets. And if they're going with standard approaches to monetize them, to trade with them, to trade the energy, they're losing around 60% of revenues, which is quite a lot. I will skip this to accelerate here a bit. But so what we're actually doing is we're trading on the power exchanges, fully automated through our algorithms, and we're directly controlling and dispatching the energy assets, batteries, renewables. We have like 2 solutions for our customers. As I said, for the asset owners, the IPP infrastructure fund, we offer like full service trading, meaning that we take care of monetizing their assets. We sign like trading contracts with them. And we have another solution, which is mostly for larger utilities with their own trading capabilities. We call it our white label partner trading solution, so that they can actually use our technology to enable them for efficiently optimizing and trading batteries. Yeah, so looking shortly into our technology, we call it the energy trading autopilot because we automate the whole process. We have a lot of input data, market data, asset data, forecast. This is millions of data points we have to process, and we are trading, for example, in Germany across 570 products every day. So we have to make a lot of decisions, and this has a big impact on the revenues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonard. Thanks a lot. We have 3 presentations left. Now inviting to the stage Cam Raufi, presenting Preserve.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cam Raufi, founder and CEO of Preserve. At Preserve, we are creating 3D Google map of the underground. As most of you know, construction projects often run late and finish over the budget. And one of the primary root causes of this issue is that contractors don't know where underground utilities are. The lack of accurate underground maps delays utility projects by an average of about 20%. And contractors currently, most of them rely on outdated historical records that are two-dimensional, that lack the critical depth information. So contractors being in the dark, they start digging random holes around the site looking for pipes, which is not efficient, and at the end is ineffective. So at Preserve, we are focused on creating automated 3D digital twin of the underground to help our customers finish their project on time. How do we do it? We use data from top-tier commercially available 3D radar scanners. Here is a picture of the unit we use in our operation. The data from these units are in electromagnetic time frequency domain, which is abstract and hard for humans to understand. 1 hour of operation of this device at 40 kilometers per hour creates more than 5 billion images like that. And that's why over the past 3 years, we've developed disruptive AI technology that automatically interpret these radar signals and create a 3D digital twin of the underground more accurately than any technicians and in near real time. With our technology, we are able to provide the 3D map of the underground with high accuracy, 100 times faster than current techniques. The accuracy and speed also help us help our customers to reduce the risk of project delays. We would love to work with you on a pilot project so you could evaluate our technology for yourself. We also have an open seed round that if you're interested, come and talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Cam, if you can pass exactly to Greg. And Greg Dijon will join us on the stage to present third equation.
Well, third equation's purpose is to develop solutions that contribute to the reduction of CO2 emissions. We focus on, to do that, we think increasing electrification of energy is essential. So we are focused on the elements that go into the increasing electrification of energy. Sorry, I went backwards. Our device is attached to a transformer in a substation. It's a fairly substantial box, and it focuses on dealing with the issues that arise through the increasing electrification of energy. Some of the issues we look at are volatile generation, how we match that to the load. We look at the frequency and stability of the network. Some of the issues recently in Europe have been caused by a lack of frequency in the network, and voltage fluctuations cause a number of customer complaints and issues. So we look at enhancing network resilience, increasing the efficiency, and improving the power quality of the network. All of this can add up to about 20% carrying capacity quickly and cost effectively. So our device up there, it's a fairly substantial box. It weighs about 600 kilos, 80 centimeters footprint square, and about 1.6 meters tall. We are working on making it smaller, but that's the current size. We think we have some unique advantages. The device can perform a number of functions all at the same time to provide grid resilience and increase capacity. Our revenue model is based on a licensing, so we're intending to supply this from more than one OEM. We provide grid capacity effectively and cost effectively and quickly. There are other solutions, but ours is probably the most cost effective. We're looking to install this to an existing transformer, but it can also be used in a new transformer. We have a patented control algorithm. That is where most of our effort has gone into. And we provide lots of data insights to utility and control for monitoring and measuring and operating the network more effectively. Oops, sorry. Oh, there's a slide missing, sorry. That's the old version. We are currently in a Series A round, looking for about $8 million to get us to self-sustaining profitability in about 18 months or so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Thanks a lot. And last not least, well, we need to ask him if he feels lucky or not lucky to be the representing startup starting with Z. And naturally, if we go in alphabetical order, he's the last. If we go in other order, he's also the last, but closing the round of last but not least, definitely not. Closing the round of today's presentation, Vigantas Kireyavas presenting Zero Parallax.
So my name is Vigantas. I'm a CEO and a co-founder of the company called Zero Parallax. And essentially, we have an AI-powered health tracker for smart grids, specifically for substations. So substations are the backbone of the grid, and we all know that they are not without problems. Just look at what happened in Spain just some time ago, short time ago. And the solution typically would be a granular, accurate monitoring in real time. So we have invented the world's first 180 degrees thermal camera with edge computing capacity that we are using to monitor these substations. So we are mounting one or two of these around the substations. We're tagging the assets, and we are looking for anomalies, thermal anomalies. And when we spot one, we generate an instruction for maintenance people to inform them where they need to be and what they need to do at and what time. This has enormous impact on the bottom line. Our market size today estimated at about 30 billion USD. We have started this software last September. We have enormous market traction by now in pending and existing pilots. And we are looking for €2 million in late round to get to our first 100 installations at 20 FTEs. And thank you very much.
Thank you. What an inspiring round of pitches from our top 15 startups. And again, I hope everyone can give a big applause to them for their hard work. Yeah, it's such an intensive week. So to close today's program, may I welcome back Brandon Joe for a closing speech. Yeah.
Hello. Right, that's master module, everyone. You guys survived. It's end of day 4. So as we bring master module to a close, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on what has been a really intense and inspiring week. So through formal dialogues and also a lot of informal interactions, I think that we've covered a lot of ground and had a lot of discussions on collaborations. I'd describe it as energizing exhaustion. Because it's it does take its toll when you're constantly on through these discussions, right? But you can't help but feel energized as well with all the passion that's really brought into the room, right? So I'd like to say thanks to a couple of groups that's made this week possible. So of course the top 15 startups, thank you for bringing your energy and creativity this week. So it's the program's not over yet. Let's stay connected and let's keep that momentum going as we head on to the road to Dublin in a couple of months' time. I'd like to acknowledge the local Hong Kong ecosystem. Thank you for being here today, and I think we showcased how it is a collaborative effort. We can't do this alone. Industry can't do this alone. So it really does take working with you all from the local Hong Kong ecosystem to make it all happen. So thank you for that. And I'd like to extend my heartfelt thank you to all the utility partners. You know, Master Module is hosted by CLP, but really it's a collaborative effort. We all join forces to make it happen. So thank you, utility partners, for being jet lagged and being here this time. So we don't have to travel. And to make the utilities look good, we've got the B2E team. So thank you so much for all your dedication. You really pull us together. One utility alone is difficult to corral, but how you manage to corral 7 utilities, it's a remarkable feat. So thank you, B2E team. And lastly, it's a lot of work has gone into hosting this master module. Months, as soon as we found out that we're going to do this around this time last year, we were onto the task, and I'd like to thank the innovation team. So mainly Ivan and Joyce from the team who have worked tirelessly on this. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right, with that, it's been a pleasure having you here in Hong Kong. It's been a blast. Wish everyone safe travels back to your respective homes. Thank you.
Really the last session. I just want to invite our utility partner ESB to tell us what is ahead for Grand Finale. John, please.
Hello, you working? We say Cade Billy Fulcher, which is 100,000 welcomes to Dublin. So quick question, where is Dublin? Okay, according to my compass, northwest is that way. It's 10,000 kilometers. And when is Dublin? It's in 14 weeks from today. I worked out if you walk at 4.25 kilometers per hour, start walking now and I'll see you there. I'm going to go by plane. No, just on behalf of, I think, the utility group, really well, a heartfelt thank you to TK. I think he's not here at the minute, but he gave his time to us the other night here, and he's backing an incredible innovation team here at CLP. And I really want to thank Brendan in particular, and Ivan, and Joyce, and the rest of the team. So on behalf of the utility, I want all the utility members to stand up. Utility members in particular, big round of applause to CLP from the utility members. Thank you so much, and utility guys. So we got here at the start of the year. We were in Canada, some of us. Then we bounced on to the boot camp in Sydney. Where are the Aussies? Oh, there they are. Hi, Aussies. And here we are, mid-module. And I think you set a new standard for the mid-module. It was awesome. So no pressure on the paddies in Ireland. So look, we're really excited to have you. Open invitation. It's the Open Innovation Day. No one person, no one utility has a monopoly of wisdom. And we have found that it really genuinely, the pressure to innovate has never been greater in the utility space. We've had the worst storm in the history of Ireland. The 24th of January was mentioned once or twice. Knocked out 20% of electricity customers. The storm was bigger than the country. I mean, we are in unprecedented times, so we need to take unprecedented measures. And free electrons is not a panacea, but it's a damn good tool in our toolbox. So go free electrons, come to Dublin!
What an energy. And now after this, we just can't wait for grand finale.
Yep. So this concludes today's program. Again, I would like to thank you, all the distinguished guests, our participants, for making this event a successful one.
Yes, and I would like to say Doce Daiga and invite everyone to continue the afternoon networking. Now is the time to get back to your conversations and still enjoy the last afternoon of the master module of the free elections. Thank you very much.